Welcome to Wax Off. My name is Robina Rayasat and I'm a hearing aid audiologist. I'll be talking through our earwax removal videos, so let's see some wax. This patient, let's call her Lady Anya Wainwood. Lady Wainwood is an 83-year-old lady who wears invisible hearing aids, so this stops the migration of wax out of her ears, causing partial blockage like this every 18 months or so. So I begin on the right ear. Olive oil has been used here, but the consistency of her wax is always quite soft and quite oily anyway. And we have our first piece out, a big amount, white on the outside so you can see the encapsulating keratin or skin around the wax. And it's slowly going into the tube, which shows it was very soft in the first instance. Slowly, bit by bit, gets sucked straight into the tube, so no still here. Back in to see what I'm working with, and you can see there is still a lot of wax seated deeper down, probably pushed this deep down by the insertion of the completely in the canal hearing aid, and with the oiliness around the wax it lifts away very nicely and you almost feel like the whole blockage is going to come away in one go. But only a small piece comes off, and by the time it comes out, most of it has gone into the tube too. So I'm back in again, and as the wax attaches again, I love to see the lifting of the wax and the clear distinction between the pink ear canal wall and the lifted piece of wax, because I know it's going to be a clean job and extraction. You can see once that's out, towards the end of the video frame, it too goes straight into the tube, so again, no still here. Tiny piece of wax saying hello here and goodbye at the same time. And at the top of the ear canal, I'm suctioning off the keratin layers, which turn out to be a bit bigger than they originally looked from the outside. And finally, suctioning up the oily residue and bits in the outer part of the ear canal where the hairs are located. But as you can see, Lady Wainwood doesn't have very many hairs here. This area can be a bit more difficult to remove everything completely from, because the hairs do cause a break in the seal of the suction probe and create a little bit more of a barrier in allowing full suction, whereas in the deeper parts where there are no hairs, the skin is smooth, so the attachment of the probe tends to be somewhat easier. And here we have a final shot of the eardrum, some oil around the edges, which was eventually drained out by asking Lady Wainwood to tilt after the procedure, which is what that yellowiness is around the edge of the eardrum. The left side has a smaller amount of wax, mainly on the one side, which you can see on the right side of the screen here. As I go deeper down with the endoscope, there is a little oil on the eardrum, and that's always great to have there because it protects the patient from the loud sounds from the procedure, because it stops the eardrum from moving or vibrating so much because of the loud suction noise. So overall, it does make it much more comfortable for the patient. I'm using a rosin inserter here, which is a hook, and I'm going behind the piece of wax to see if I can hook behind it and drag it forward. There are other tools that can be used out there, but on this occasion the rosin inserter has worked very well, and I'm very gently rolling it on itself. You can see it's sitting on the bowl of the concha, or the outside entrance of the ear canal. So I'm back in to see what we have left inside, and as I pull out you can see the original piece I was rolling out with the rosin inserter at the bottom of the screen. And I go back in with my trusty Zollner and suction that away very easily. Followed by the remaining part deeper down. Again, it all comes away really nicely here, followed by removal of some keratin at the top of the screen, a part which doesn't really want to come off, so I will leave that there. And these keratin layers closer to the entrance of the ear canal are also the same. They don't want to come off, they're not ready to come off. Some have lifted off, but here if I continue to pull at the skin, it will lift up more and more towards the deeper parts of the ear canal, and I don't want to cause any soreness for Lady Waynwood by removing keratin which isn't ready to leave the ear canal yet. So I will leave that there so it does lay flat back down again. And here we have a final shot of the left ear, still here because I want to show you this red area here indicated by the arrow, which has always been on Lady Waynwood's left eardrum. It looks like a little bit of a slash, a red slash across the top part of the eardrum, but it's just the capillary or blood supply arrangement to this part of the eardrum, and it's in such an organised fashion, almost like someone took a red biro and made a little mark across it. Absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much for watching episode 41 of Wax Off. Keep watching, subscribing and commenting with your interesting questions, and I will see you in the next one.